Guys, Adam aka CSRadical here with a bit of a quick video, or at least what I think is a quick video. Who knows, this could be 10 hours long for all I know, knowing the way that I can't stop talking. So, there's this restaurant in Toronto, and this has been a story that I've been wanting to do for a while now. It's called Antler, and it's a restaurant that serves a lot of more hunting game kind of foods, like, say, deer, rabbit, that sort of stuff. And for the past month or so, there has been a bunch of vegan activists that have been, well, let's be quite honest, harassing the restaurant. And this is like a small-time restaurant. This isn't like a chain like a McDonald's, which, by the way, they fully admitted that they weren't going to attack McDonald's because McDonald's wouldn't listen. And we'll get to that later. But they've been harassing this restaurant over and over again, putting massive signs like murder up against the window where customers are eating. And, even to the point that, from what I've read through the story, this restaurant actually put a vegan board up on the menu so that way there were options for vegans to eat at the restaurant. I think there might have already been vegan options, but now they were making it a lot more prevalent. As if to say, hey, we hear you. Let's make it a little more obvious to customers that, hey, this is also a place where, you can eat as a vegan and it's fair to you guys too. But obviously, all they see is you're killing animals. Who gives a fuck? So it doesn't stop. They keep harassing, and eventually it gets to a boiling point, because obviously you have people going out and trying to ruin your business. I mean, it's your livelihood. Go figure. So the owner and head chef decides to take this into his own hands and grabs a raw deer leg, and proceeds to cut the meat right off the bone right in front of the vegan activists out the window. And after he does that, he goes back to the kitchen, cooks it up, and walks right back to the same table and sits down and eats it right in front of them. And initially, most news outlets were not happy about this. There were a lot of articles that I was seeing written being like, how could he do this? Like, how insensitive of this person? And eventually it finally got to a more reputable news sources, I should say, because a lot of these places were websites that I'd never heard of. Go figure. And a lot of them were taking what I think is the correct side to the story, is saying, hey, at some point, this guy was going to have to take action, and it's better that he did this rather than, obviously make it more of a violent action, rather than going outside and saying, yelling at these protesters or maybe shoving them, going as far as that. No, he just said, okay, fine, I'll screw with you in the same way that you've been trying to screw over my business. So I don't have a problem with what the owner did, and I think anybody who does is really drinking the vegan Kool-Aid. And I have no problem with veganism. If that is your prerogative, you're more than welcome to do it. But there is a certain aspect of veganism that really rubs me the wrong way and rubs a lot of people the wrong way. And I think even vegans themselves know exactly what it is. In the way that, say, religious people would do it, in the way that CrossFitters do it, you shove it down people's fucking throats. And no offense, but you are not the most important person in the world. If you are a vegan, you're not important. You aren't that special. Just because you don't eat meat, or hell, even if you don't eat anything that's produced from an animal, you're not special. Shut the fuck up and stop acting like you need to be accustomed to by every single thing out there. There is a free market for a reason. If people want to eat meat, they can eat meat. Now, if you're for the unethical treatment of animals, I fully understand that. I understand why. My brain also still goes, well, if we have to treat them all ethically, that's going to increase costs, and I don't feel like paying more for the food that I have to eat. So I'm sorry that, obviously, I've seen videos of how, like, cows, chickens, and all these animals are mistreated, and it's horrifying. But at the end of the day, you know what? I don't care as much as I should, because, let's be honest, I'm still eating them, and I would rather pay less. And at the same time, I always go back to it. No one really says anything when other animals are killing other animals for food. So, I mean, sure, are we treating them a little like shit? Yes, but at the same point, they're still going and ending up at the same place. They're still ending up on a plate. They're still ending up as food. And, I mean, if there was a way to make everything ethical and it would still not drive the price any higher, then please, somebody put that out into the open so that we can get this shit over with, because I would love nothing more than that. But from a consumer aspect, I do not give a shit about the treatment of these animals when it's literally just for food. It's not like they're mistreating them for the sake of mistreating them. No, at the end of the day, they're going to be killed. And I'm sorry to say this, but it's all going in our stomachs anyway, so it doesn't bother me as much if it means the price stays down. That's just how I feel on it. I'm not saying that it's okay with the way that they treat them, but I'm saying it's a necessary pill that I'm okay with swallowing. Because if, let's say, for example, if we were to treat every animal that we eventually slaughter and cook for food, like say if right now an average cheeseburger at McDonald's is what, like $1.69 Canadian, $1.99 Canadian, I don't know, something like that. Let's just say it's $2. I know it's less than that, but let's just say $2. If we had to do everything ethically, and all of a sudden a cheeseburger at McDonald's would cost $4, I'd be so far against that. Even $3, I'd still be against it. I'm like, it's a fucking little cheese. Like, you know what a McDonald's cheeseburger looks like. I could buy a set of burgers and a set of buns and be able to cook probably a full set of 6 for the price of like 2 burgers at McDonald's at that point. That's bullshit. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry, but I'm not doing that. That's not something I'm willing to compromise on if it's going to dent my wallet that much more. Now, let's say if it was $2.25, then we might have a chance. But anything over $1 especially, there's no way. If we're almost doubling the cost, no, that's bullshit. I'm not doing that. In the same way that, like, with the organics debate, it's like, oh, you should go organic. I'm like, okay, we'll stop charging so much for it, and then I will. It's as simple as it gets. I'm not willing to make certain strides in things if it's going to just cost me more. That doesn't benefit me. Now, environmental stuff, it's a slippery slope. It depends on what it is. But in terms of food, I'm sorry, but I'm more concerned about, is it going to cost me a lot more than anything else? Because, no offense, but this life that I'm living is the only life that I am in charge of, and I need to look out for this life first before anything else. So if my wallet is royally screwed over, if I'm royally affected financially just so that a couple of pigs can have a better life, I don't care. Fuck the pigs. That's just how I look at it. Sorry to say that, but that's exactly how I feel on that issue. So I have no problems with what Antler did. I applaud the Boston head chef for that, because at some point you got to call an asshole out for being an asshole, and that was a great way to do it instead of just going out and yelling at them like you would expect the average person to do. So go check out that story if you can. I'll leave a link in the description for that story. And, comment on this, what you think. I mean, obviously, I understand the brash nature of what I've said in this video, but that's just how I feel on the subject. So comment on what you think about it, and don't forget to like and subscribe for any more content that I happen to do, which might piss you off just as much as anything else, or it might make you laugh. Who gives a crap? It's all fun and games for me. So anyways, guys, thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.